You hear about global warming everywhere, but what does global warming really mean?
According to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, global warming is an increase in the Earth's atmospheric and oceanic temperatures widely predicted to occur due to an increase in the greenhouse effect resulting especially from pollution.
However, global warming is only widely predicted to occur because of humans.
Global warming is often associated with climate change. However, climate change is the changing temperatures of Earth, while global warming is the idea that humans are causing climate change.
Proven facts lead us to the conclusion that climate change is just part of Earth's natural cycle and global warming is a hoax. Global warming is not caused by humans. The increase of global temperatures is simply the Earth's natural cycle. Earth's climate has changed and will continue to change throughout history. Some say humans have increased the amount of carbon dioxide by more than a third since the Industrial Revolution. Changes this large have historically taken thousands of years, but are now happening over the course of decades. There is evidence that CO2 levels have raised, but humans are not the cause. Temperatures affect CO2, not the other way around. The major argument for people who believe in global warming is that CO2 levels are rising. However, according to the Center for Global Food Issues and many other sources, CO2 does not affect global temperatures. In fact, it is actually the other way around. Global temperatures affect CO2. Increased temperatures were followed by increased amounts of CO2 by 400 to 1,000 years. This shows that CO2 emissions from humans are not affecting climate changes. Many people believe global warming is a serious issue and we're all going to die because that is what the majority of experts say. However, 31,000 scientists reject global warming. In an effort to convince the U.S. government, a group of scientists wrote, "There is no convincing scientific evidence that human release of carbon dioxide, methane, or other greenhouse gases is causing, or will in the foreseeable future, cause catastrophic heating of the Earth's surface and disruption of Earth's climate." There is no questioning that temperatures are rising. This, however, is due to Earth's natural cycle, not human activity. A recent study of iceberg debris on the floor of the North Atlantic shows that this happens naturally about every 1,500 years. The temperatures are naturally rising, but what does this mean for life on Earth? The Earth's temperatures will soon decrease again. However, for now, the warmer temperatures are to our benefit.
According to Forbes.com, a plan was proposed to spend $552 trillion to shave a few hundredths of a degree off future temperatures. However, we must remember that for plants, animals, and people, to a certain degree, warmer is better.
According to National Geographic, glaciers and mountain snows are rapidly melting and Arctic ice is rapidly disappearing. However, this is the Earth's natural cycle. In fact, in the 1970s, it was predicted that Earth would go through another ice age.
Could you please introduce yourself and tell us your scientific background?
Okay, I am Mark Peterson, and I am a geophysicist. I have a doctoral degree from Columbia University at Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory in New York City.
What is your definition of global warming?
The Earth has warmed and cooled many times during its history. We know that during the past 100 years or so that the rate of warming has increased dramatically, and this is referred to as global warming.
Do you believe climate change is caused by humans?
Well, the scientific evidence that I've seen shows that the trends and patterns of the data indicate that humans have been the cause of climate change.
Is the greenhouse effect real?
Well, the greenhouse effect is unquestionably real, and it affects and regulates our planet's temperature. And it's essential for life. It's one of the Earth's natural processes. So we know that the greenhouse gases will effectively trap heat within the atmosphere, causing temperatures which allow life to occur and to be sustained. So the question is not about whether we have a greenhouse effect, it's about whether human activities are causing that greenhouse effect. We do know that over the past century that the amount of greenhouse gases have increased due to the burning of fossil fuels and oils and gases. And so that they're much higher now than they were in pre-industrial levels. So we do know that there's been an increase in the amount of greenhouse gases. No debate about that. We also know that there is a greenhouse effect which causes heat to be sustained around the Earth.
Why don't all scientists believe in global warming?
Well, I think, as in all science, the data can always be interpreted in different ways. And global warming cycles are very complicated. They're complicated functions of the world's water cycle, its ice sheets, its glaciers, and each of these are dependent on each other. So there's a lot of interdependence, and they're what they call feedback loops in which they depend on each other. So scientists have tried to understand these through several different methods. One is that they've tried to look at different data that shows an effect of the temperatures. For example, ice cores beneath Antarctica and the Arctic are both evidence that show global warming patterns. Tree rings, where we know that trees are influenced by the temperatures, also show these types of patterns. But this data can be looked at, and it's not as good as we go back in time. So people debate about how good that data is. Another thing that they can do is that they can look at different experiments in a laboratory. But that laboratory is not nature. It's only trying to be something like what we really see outside. But we cannot replicate the large-scale functions that go on in nature. The third thing is that many of these models are based on computer algorithms, and these computers may function correctly, but they might have some either bugs in them that people have criticized, or they might have different interdependencies that make them have wildly different results, and those things cause science to question all these results that I've talked about.
The temperature of Earth has and will continue to change. This is natural due to the amount of change our world encounters every day. As we know, some believe humans cause this, but as we have explained, humans do not contribute to the change in our climate. Okay. Lead us to the stop.
Hundredths of a degree off future temperatures. However, you must remember that for plants, animals, and people to change to a certain degree, warmer is. A plan was proposed to spend $552 trillion to save a few.
It says to shave a few.